Welcome to the weekly English segment of our radio show Para Ser Legal. Today, important topic: what happens if I don't update my address with USCIS when I have a pending petition? Why is USCIS changing the address of my interview or where I need to send additional documentation? Does that mean that my petition is going to be denied? Does that mean that it's going to be delayed? Why is this happening? And I'm going to give examples of both Maria and George, two people that we represented, although we changed our names. What happened to them when they didn't inform immigration of their most current address? So let's start.
Calificas para ser legal, ¿quieres saber? Solo llama al abogado Andrés Mejer.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Andrés Mejer. I'm a speaker, author, and immigration attorney. And the first question: what happens if I don't update USCIS with my current address? All right, so here's the requirement. If I move, within 10 days of my moving, I must inform USCIS of my new address. If I'm in removal proceedings, that means the government filed a notice to appear. That's a complaint. They served it upon me. They served it upon the court, and the government is trying to deport me. I have to keep the court and the government informed of where I live, and there's a method to do that. So if everybody who isn't a U.S. citizen, even a green card holder, even a student visa holder, if they move, they're supposed to inform immigration within 10 days, even if you're a green card holder. If you don't, it's a misdemeanor. It can be punished by a fine up to $200 and up to 30 days in jail. The law also says that a green card holder can be deported for failing to give immigration my new address, unless one, failure to report. I have a reasonable excuse if I didn't give my address. For example, I was in a coma, I had a stroke, I had severe medical conditions. That's one way. Secondly, that it wasn't willful. It was not my intention to deceive the government. It was just an honest mistake. For example, I mailed the change of address form, but I mailed it to the wrong place. Okay, I thought I was doing the right thing. That's a good excuse, but it's better not to do it. Look, historically, the government isn't going to go looking for green card holders that didn't update their address and put them in removal proceedings just because they didn't give them the address. But in Trump world, you never know. Don't leave yourself open. Make sure you do it. So if you got your green card and you've never updated them, you moved 5 times, I'm not suggesting you give all 5 addresses. Just give the current one. And from now on, every time you move, do it. Alternatively, file for your citizenship. Once you're a U.S. citizen, you don't need to inform the government of where you live. Obviously, you want a driver's license, you need to update your driver's license. You're going to file for your tax return, you're going to indicate where your address is. It isn't like the government isn't going to know where you are. The difference is you don't need to communicate with USCIS about your address anymore. Now, how to update address? Well, that's easy. If it's with USCIS, you file what's called an AR-11. That you can Google it, AR-11. You can fill it out online. You can download the PDF from USCIS. It's free. Fill it out and mail it. Or you can call the 1-800 number, 800-375-5283, and indicate your new address. I do not recommend calling. If I mail something, I can keep a copy. I can send it registered certified mail, and I have proof that I mailed it. If I do it online, I will get a receipt, I will get some information. But if I call somebody, and if that person doesn't put the information correctly or accurately, or doesn't do it, I have a hard time proving that I did it. It's no longer in my control. I have to wait for someone to do something and send me proof. And if they don't do it and I forget, that's on me. So if I filed it and I kept a copy and I have proof of when it was signed by a USCIS official, because I have the green card the post office gave me, you know what? If they make a mistake, I can prove that I did the right thing and it's not my fault. Even so, worst case scenario, if I'm applying for my green card and my petition could be denied, I might be put in place in removal proceedings, but I'm not automatically deported. Now, if I change my address, and with the court, I'm in removal proceedings, and for whatever reason, the court sends a notification changing the date and time. For whatever reason, let's say it was a holiday, or somebody was sick, or whatever the reason is. Usually they don't tell you, they just change it. Now, to a different date, an earlier date, a later date, but on that date, I don't show up. I show up at the date that I thought I was supposed to go. And I found out that I was already deported because I missed my opportunity. Very important. The government only has to prove that they send your information to their last known address. If you moved and you didn't tell the government, the onus is on you, and so is the consequences. Now, we'll talk about what happens if you don't file towards the end of this. You do have the obligation, that's what we just talked about. If you move within 10 days, you have to notify the government that you have done so. If you've moved several times and you never did it so far, file one now. Just put your most recent address. And do it from now on going forward. Alternatively, file for your citizenship, and once you become a U.S. citizen, you don't need to inform the USCIS of where you live.